Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your many hosts at Florida Aviation Network, and we're here again at the Florida Aviation Air Museum, and it's actually the Aerospace Center for Excellence. That's for Light Schleenhouse, the president CEO of Sun and Fun. We're on the Sun and Fun campus, and we were just attended a ribbon cutting ceremony for the NOAA activities going along here at the Air Museum, but more importantly, here on the field, NOAA, there's a lot of P3s and twin otters and just all kind of activities going on here with a beautiful NOAA emblem up on the tail. And this man knows something a little bit about it. This is Captain Tim Gallagar. Tim?
Good morning.
And welcome to Florida Aviation Network. Tim, let's develop a little bit more about your role here. You are the commander of this unit, I can understand.
So I am commanding officer of the NOAA Aircraft Operations Center. We relocated to Lakeland Linder Regional Airport just over a year ago. So we're relatively new to the community, but we have a world-class facility that was built, purpose-built for us here with our design input to house our 9 aircraft that we use to conduct NOAA science throughout the country and the world. We have 110 folks that work for us to accomplish our missions, to maintain the aircraft and keep our folks safe and bring them back every day.
And it always is a pleasure to see that trail of, I'm going to say a slight trail of soot following the P3 as you guys come back. But Captain, tell us a little bit more about, and we're going to get right into the minutia of this thing. What's it like to penetrate a hurricane or a tropical depression, and what's it like on the inside, and how many penetrations have you personally been a part of?
So I guess I'll start with the last question first, and I'll forget all the rest along the way. But I've been in. I've penetrated Hurricane I, which means we go in and we successfully come out the other side 249 times.
249. That's almost close to 250.
That is correct. It just, we don't try to fudge the numbers. We take it as it comes, and the way it worked out, that's where I stand. So maybe I'll get another flight in. Not sure.
Maybe we'll have a ceremony next time when you hit that 250 mark.
Yeah, we usually don't have celebrations for those things, but the important thing is that we're going in there, we're collecting data to improve the models and the forecast and make them better and actually show people where they need to be and where the storm's going to be and where they don't need to be. You asked about what it's like to go through. Most of the storms are, it's hard to say. It's all relative, but I would say, most of them are relatively, we'll say, normal, typical. What you would see is kind of light to moderate turbulence. You liken it to being on a country road, dirt road with bad suspension on your truck. Doesn't work out so well. Every once in a while, you hit a pothole and kind of throws you for a loop. That's probably a majority of the cases, 80% of the time. The other 15 to 20%. It's definitely can be a wild ride. I'll tell you the worst storm that I was in from a turbulence perspective was Hurricane Felix back in 2007. We on entry, the storm had rapidly intensified. We got into +4, -4G situation in the aircraft.
That's a ride.
It was definitely a ride. That's a game ender for us. As far as for that day, that mission, we had to abort, come home, do an inspection, make sure we didn't damage the aircraft. P3, sturdy, stable aircraft, flew it in the Navy, fly it with NOAA. I trust it with my life, obviously. But so glad we have that as a resource for us to do this type of operation, because it's going to get you back home every day. And I'll say that even in that Felix event, you certainly know it's got your back.
Well, I'm not going to take anything away from guys that fly into a perfectly good storm, but the reason for that is to give us here, us ground dwellers, the opportunity to get a little heads up about something bad's fixing to happen, and we better be ready. And I think you guys bring that up on your website as the importance.
That's exactly correct. For the folks here in Florida, of which I am one, Irma was a great example of that. Last year, Irma, as it came through the Caribbean, had a tight turn over Cuba, and there was a lot of question, uncertainty where it was going to go. We go out there. That's why we're out flying, is to fine tune that forecast, to see when it was going to turn, and then make sure that the people that are in the path know and can get out of the way, get out of harm's way before that comes. So that's, from my perspective, the most important aspect of what we do, why we do this. It's to make sure that the people are safe and can find and seek shelter as necessary.
Well, Captain, there's no higher calling than the life-saving role that you guys in the military take. And as a matter of fact, military, you guys are 7th in line, aren't you?
That's correct. The NOAA Corps, I'm a NOAA Corps officer, and we are the 7th service, uniform service, but not armed. So, I was in the Navy for 10 years, came over to NOAA in 2004, so 14 years, and continued to serve my country.
Well, thanks for your service there, Captain, and you guys are head of the Space Force coming up. So remind those guys when they come in that you were there before they were.
Right, exactly. In fact, we actually have a space weather forecasting office that we use to forecast sunspot activity, electromagnetic winds, everything that comes off the sun and comes through space.
Had no idea, but there's a lot of things that we're going to be developing through this. But, Captain, thank you so much for joining us here on the Florida Aviation Network.
Thank you very much, Ben.
And we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to try to get over and take a peep into their hangar one of these days. But signing off to you this interview from the Aerospace Center for Excellence here at Son of Fun campus, Ben Coleman. We'll see you next interview.